Okay, thank you for joining us for joining us. Segment. Please use the raise your hand function for questions.
Well, we're very pleased, I think, as a staff as well as the players, to be able to complete a whole spring ball session. Last year, we were able to get seven practices in, but we were cut short. We all know the reason why, and that's why I'm still talking to you folks on these monitors. And hopefully that'll clean up one day, sooner than later. But I thought today was a day for me personally to try to put a strain on the players and allow them to play in an atmosphere where they're going to play a series of plays. And that's why at times, if I didn't think the offense or the defense was on the field long enough, I would tell the officials call a foul to keep the play going. And the first series was with the ones, and it was 15-play drive, and it was done purposely. There was a couple of other situations where I stepped in and told the officials call a foul because I wanted to see them really react to what it feels like in a game when it's hot, when you got to play 8 or 9 plays in a row, the fatigue factor, and can you line up and do your job? And so I thought that was important to me to watch. And then I just think the culmination of a bunch of these young guys that is their first year here to have an opportunity to compete. And so that was the stage for the most part. We kept score, as you guys can see. It was one of those crazy scoring deals, but the talk around the locker room was very simple. And I told them, I said, the winners, you get wings. Generally, when we win around here, we get wings. And I said, the losers get hot dogs and hamburgers. And so as the score kept going, I wanted to make sure it was close enough to keep them involved in it. And then at the end, I told them everybody gets wings. So everybody's going to get wings. That was the fun part for me, to hold them at bay. So that's all we got. But a pretty good spring for the most part, offensively and defensively. We saw a lot of players. But I think for the most part, we got our system in. We got everything we needed to do on offense and defense. And now it's just a matter of detailing it, being more organized with it, and just figure out what we're going to do every week with the packages and the players that we have in.
Thank you, Coach. We will go Hode Amir Koki.
Hi, Herm. When you have such an established team with so many veterans, all starters coming back on defense, for the most part, the same thing on offense, is it important to you to have established 2 deep at the end of spring practice, or do you really don't mind that there'll be still position battles going in well into fall camp?
No, we want to continue to have competition and battle for spots. We don't want anyone to get complacent or think, because I'm coming back, I'm a 5th-year senior, I get to play. Your reps will be taken if you don't live up to the standard of what we feel you should play at. And I think every player understands that. That's kind of always been our deal around here. You got to compete every day. You walk in this building, you got to leave a better player. If not, then you're letting yourself down in the football team. So I think that has kind of been established. And if you can see in the lineup at times, there's some changes and some guys are going to get your reps. And so, I think they're well aware of that.
Yeah, Coach, there was a lot of talk in the offseason about this NFL model. And I think today was the first day that fans and media together got to see this model through, various formations and plays and such. What do you think throughout the entire spring? How have you guys competed compared to this NFL model that you've set?
Well, I think it was kind of talked about when I first arrived here, but I think now the players that have been here from the beginning, 3 years in this system going on 4, they remind the players how it works, what this thing's all about in your work ethic, how you come in the building, how you understand it's important when you walk in the classroom. This is where you gain the knowledge and then transfer that on the field. And I think the way we practice at the speed that we try to practice at, as you can see, there was only 1 live period. We've always done that. We've been a third team during sessions when we have pads. And generally at the end like this, we let the young guys play tackle. But for the most part, if you've ever watched us play, we're a pretty physical football team. And I just think you can save guys by not tackling that much. I believe in tackling. I'm not saying I don't. But I just think there's a time and place for it. And I think the players now are comfortable, practicing the way we practice. That's probably the most important thing.
Hey, Coach. So last week, it was announced that the COVID-19 vaccine will be available for everyone over the age of 16 in Arizona. How have you handled discussions about the vaccine? Do you recommend that your players get it? Have you had struggle determining whether or not that's in your place?
Well, I don't know if that's in my place, but I think every player here knows that I got both shots. I'm vaccinated. And, you know, this is going to be one of those things that comes up, and we'll see what the powers to be tell us, you know, and I deal with it that way. I don't get involved in that part. I stay in my lane when it comes to that. I just know my wife has the vaccine. Our son was in town. He got vaccinated, and he's going to come back 3 weeks from now and get his second shot. So my family's vaccinated.
Michael?
Yeah, Coach, when you're talking about, obviously, about the installation. So overall through the whole spring, how do you feel that the offense and the defense, especially the offense's second year with Coach Hill getting to put it in, but how do you feel that all the players have adjusted to the installation, and how do you feel their comfort level is with it?
Well, I think there's a lot of volume generally, and when you think about our offense, there is a lot of volume. But I compare it to last spring when we only had the 7 practices, right, and everything we did was on Zoom. We actually couldn't meet in the building. We're much further ahead. Now, with that being said, are we at the place to where we could go play a game tomorrow? No, not really, in my opinion. I think there's still a lot of work to be done, and I think the players understand that. But now it's just a matter of, you know, regurgitating and going through the process when we come back to continue to press upon them knowledge and knowing what to do. You know, the enemy of football is not knowing what to do. And when you don't know what to do, you can't play fast, you don't play confident, and I think our players understand that.
Dylan?
Hi, Coach. More specifically, offensively today, what did you see out of your tight ends and Jaylen Conyers? What did you like? What did you notice most about your group of tight ends today?
No, the ones that were here, obviously. You know, Jaylen, the kid we got the transfer, he's very talented player. And I think the tight end in our system is going to be a big factor. We've got another young man coming in, a local kid that'll also be involved in that. You know, Curtis didn't participate today, but he's a guy. Stivers is another guy that played for us. So we've got some tight ends, but we'll continue to look for some. You know, we want length. I think this football team all about length right now, length and size. That's what we're looking for, and the tight end position especially. We want guys, you know, 6'5" or more, to be quite honest. I mean, that's the kind of size we're looking for. But the guys that we have here now, they will function in the system.
Ethan?
Coach, just talking about the team as a whole, what do you think is the strongest part of your team?
I would probably say the defense, because there's so many guys that have played together. You're talking about a linebacker group that's been here that started as freshmen, 2 of them. You're talking about the secondary that's been together for 3 seasons now, going on 4. The defensive line's somewhat. Tyler Johnson, DJ Lole, Pesafea. We've got some guys that have played football together. So I would say that would be the strength. You know, on offense, when you think about it, we had a new core of receivers last year for the most part. So they're coming into their second season, and the running backs were all new. Offensive line, we're glad, Deisha and those guys that had us came back. That gives us a little shot in the arm with their presence, and the other guys, obviously, that are here as well. But that's how I kind of look at the football team right now.
All right, Coach, I think that's all we have. Thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy your Sunday.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, we're ready here with quarterback Jayden Daniels. Please use the raise your hand function for questions, and we will start with Amir.
All right, Jayden. First off, this is like a 2-parter. So the first part of this question, go to wing flavor since you guys are getting wings today.
Either buffalo or lemon pepper.
All right, I respect that. And what did you feel like today? Any specific receiver for you that stood out in the group?
I feel like today all the receivers play well. LV, Johnny, Andre, Badger made some plays, GP. And I mean, Jaylen Conyers stepped up a little bit today. You even see Case Hatch getting involved, score a touchdown. So it was a good day.
Koki, and then Michael.
Hey, Jayden. In Arizona, as you likely know, anyone over the age of 16 can now get the COVID-19 vaccine. So with that being the case, what are your thoughts on potentially getting it yourself?
I mean, that's something I have to talk about with my family, talk about with Coach Herm. But, always open to new stuff, but I just got to discuss it over with my family.
And then Jayden, Coach, I was just asking Coach, obviously, about the installation last year, everything kind of done through Zoom, but this year with Coach Hill, how much more comfortable do you feel in the installation of the offense?
I feel very comfortable. I feel like you guys could tell out there on the field that everybody on offense is looking more comfortable than what we did last year. Repping it over and over in person, even in practice after this past year, just diving more in the playbook. And, Coach Hill, he's making it real easy for us in order to just go out there and play fast. And if we just play fast, we're playing confident.
And then where do you feel you've improved?
I mean, I feel like I improved just overall as a football player and the quarterback, really. Be able to just facilitate, know the operation, facilitate offense, and just dish the ball out to the open receiver.
Sierra, Amir, Michelle.
Hey, Jayden, just wanted to get your overall thoughts on how today went and what was the excitement level for you guys knowing that you were going to play in front of not that many fans, but you did have some people out there.
The excitement level was high, be able to play in front of fans, just feeding off the energy. You hear when we make a big player score a touchdown, the fans are cheering. So that's just something that we missed for a whole year. But just the energy and excitement going to this year and be able to play in front of them, just play in front of all the Sun Devil fans, it's just great.
Yeah, Jayden, this offense has a lot of concepts that have been utilized on the NFL level that are popular in NFL locker rooms nowadays. What has been the talk between you and offensive coordinator Zach Hill in the complexity of this offense and how it will prepare you for the next level?
He knows what he's talking about offensive-wise. He just wants the best for me. He's a great dude, and our relationship is building each and every day. But just going out there having those talks about what I want to accomplish, what we want to accomplish as an offense, really. We want to go out there, score points, throw the ball around, run the ball, a lot of play actions. There's other things that you see at the next level. So when that time comes, I'll be prepared, and he knows I'll be prepared for it.
Hey, Jayden. Everybody, Coach said you put on a little bit of weight and good muscle during the offseason. Can you tell the difference physically kind of going into this season as to where you were last year to this year?
Yeah, I mean, last year, quarantine, I put on a little bit of weight, but this year, just physically, I'm feel like I'm more developed. Still gotta keep working every day, put on some more pounds, but I feel good. Just throughout the spring, my arm didn't really get sore. It was the days it was sore. But, just taking care of my body, just doing the little things that will help me later on down the road, just starting building those good habits.
Ethan?
Jayden, what kind of goals set for yourself personally next season?
Yeah, personally for me, really, I just want to leave. I want to, no matter what, just leave a legacy. So going down the road, I want to win a Rose Bowl. I want to be the quarterback that won a Rose Bowl in a very long time here. The fans deserve that. This team deserves it. That's what we've been working for each and every day.
Dylan.
Hi, Jayden. You touched on it briefly earlier, but what did you see out of your skill positions and your tight ends today?
Yeah, they're playing more confident, playing fast. They know the offense, so they're not really thinking about what they got to do. Really just going out there and just enjoying football, really, playing catch, just having fun, scoring touchdowns is what we want to do this fall.
Anything else for Jayden? Okay, Jayden, thank you very much. For everyone, if you've not seen my announcement, we will have Coach Antonio Pierce here at some point, so please stand by. Do so, and we'll take questions.
Yeah, thank you. Thought we did what we wanted to accomplish in the spring. We came out healthy, first and foremost. We was able to get a lot of our young players opportunities with reps and situational football, which we really want to work on. Red zone, third down, in the game, and a half. I want to continue building on our depth, and then with our older players, work on technique and fundamentals. I thought the spring game went as planned, kept it simple, let the guys play and have fun. I think we saw that out there. The good part about spring is you get to see guys, at the bright lights in the big stadium. And obviously having fans there was one of the biggest pluses for me. And I know our players and our staff and our whole university of seeing fans and our ASU alumni and fan base back in there cheering and raving about their Sun Devil football.
Thanks, Coach. We'll go with Hode, Doug, Michael.
Hey, P, when Herm talked earlier today, he just talked about how much more a normal spring practice lets you really settle into your scheme, into what you really want to accomplish. After 15 practices, do you feel that definitely stands true for the defense, especially compared to this time last year?
Yes, obviously in year 2, did a great job in year 1 with Marvin Lewis and myself, and just trying to expand on that into year 2. I think the guys did a better job of understanding what we're trying to accomplish in certain calls, in certain situations, what we're looking for, what we're trying to take away, better understanding of the coaches and what they're looking for. So hand in hand, I think it was a very, very big plus for us. Obviously, the biggest plus is that we got all 15 of our spring practices in. We came out healthy, COVID-free, safe and sound.
AP, what did you see from Travis Moore this spring, just coming in as a new guy?
Exactly what we're looking for. Somebody to come off the edge, give us a little bit of juice. Obviously, our biggest need we felt going into this season in 21 year was a pass rusher and a guy that's dynamic. Travis is obviously bringing a lot of experience coming from the SEC country, played a lot of big-time football against big-time players. He's brought a sense of leadership, accountability, and a certain toughness that we really don't have or don't get too often here on the West Coast. So for us, it's been a pleasant surprise. He's still got a long ways to go. Obviously, we do things a certain way here, and we expect that to be done all the time. But Travis has been a pleasant surprise for us and a great addition to our D-line group.
And Coach, you touched on it a little bit, but you feel the overall the installation of the defense went well. And I didn't ask you this before. I know you're obviously in spring, you're calling it down on the field, but in the fall, are you going to stay down on the field calling the defense as well?
Yeah, I answer your last question first. I do plan on being on a sideline, better feel for the game. Chris Claiborne will be upstairs. He'll be our eyes up there, so that I'll work with the linebackers on the sideline, but I will call the game from the sideline. And getting to what we wanted to accomplish in the spring, yes, I think with the install, we got everything that we wanted to get in, all the situational football, all the different scenarios that we had last year that we can learn from and use going forward. That's what we wanted to accomplish. And then more importantly, just keep working on our technique and fundamentals.
Christian, followed by Doug.
Yeah, Coach, you've been on some teams with a lot of talent, obviously won Super Bowls. This team has a lot of returning talent and experience. Now at the end of spring, what do you see? It seems like the team's really on a mission and has the pieces to contend in the Pac-12 this fall.
Yeah, our goal is just to stay focused, brick by brick, not worry about expectations or what the outside noise is telling us of how good we look. Obviously, this is a work in progress. We're not where we want to be. That goal is to keep working on in the spring. These guys I get with Joe Conley, with our strength program, and keep getting bigger, stronger, and faster, which we want to do. We're bringing the athletes that look the part. Mentally, we got to keep being sharp in the classroom. But we know what our expectations and our standards are as a defense. That's been set here with Coach Edwards from day one, and it's not going to change.
AP, who are a couple guys who really helped themselves this spring?
Yeah, you got quite a few. I would say this. I thought our veterans really helped themselves. I think our veterans did a better job of understanding what they need to do to get better. Each one of them came to their coach and asked, hey, what can I do to get better? I'm coming back for a 5th or 6th year. What do I need to work on? I think those guys done an outstanding job of working on that. With some of our younger guys, I think there's been peaks, highs and lows with Stanley Lambert. He shows flashes here and there, needs to be more consistent. Obviously, Eric Gentry, the freshman that we brought in, the big boy out of Philly, 6'6", has done an outstanding job of making his presence known. We still have a work in progress to do there. Tommy Hill's done a pretty good job as well. And kind of a name from the past, we need to get him going, is Cam Phillips. Cam Phillips, the second part of the spring, is really taking over a role to put himself in position to get significant playing time and put himself in a position to help us out.
Amir, followed by Christian.
Yeah, Coach, you talked about that outside noise of how good you guys look on paper. What do you think the biggest improvement you guys need to do defensively is going into the season in order to accomplish some of the goals your players talked about today?
Yeah, well, hopefully they kept it short and sweet, but it's situational football. You know, in the games that we've had here is understanding end of half, in the game, 4th and 9, 4th and 13, how to finish. Our biggest thing is about being more mentally tough here. Physically, we know these guys can run, jump, and do everything we asked of them. But how are we when things get tough, when we deal with adversity? That's an ongoing process for us, not only as players, but as coaches, to keep challenging ourselves with situations. And as we do that, we'll be better. And I think the more we give our players that opportunity, the slower the game will be for them. I call it the matrix, where they see things happening before it happens, our anticipation picking up as well. So that will be the process the next 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned having the 5th and 6th year guys coming back, what they personally wanted to work on. But I think of a guy like Chase and the commitment he's made to being a leader. Have you seen guys like him, especially the guys who came back for their 6th year and are trying to get drafted now? How has their mindset changed as far as leadership?
Huge. Chase Lucas is probably my favorite because of his mentality. Last year, he was hurt when he was not named team captain, being a local hometown hero. I'm sure that affected him dearly. He took it upon himself to change that narrative and was named team captain by Coach Edwards and our staff. We feel that that was the appropriate decision for a gentleman who's put in a lot of sweat, blood into this program and dedication, that he's deserving of it, and he's acted accordingly. He's held the guys accountable. He's held coaches accountable. And at the end of the day, the winning teams I've been on, the players are the ones who kind of get the show running. As coaches, we don't need to keep pushing them along. Once they do that within themselves down that locker room, that's when we'll have a winning organization and program here.
Coach, thank you for joining us today, and thanks to all the media for being here, and we will talk to you soon.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.